want to thank everybody for coming out this morning on a Saturday morning and sharing this time with me, this important time for me and my family. And that's a good patriotic ring. For coming out this morning to help and support my family and I in a special announcement that we're going to make. And I want to thank all of my supporters and friends who've come out today. There's so many of you. We've got people that come from Columbia and Camden and, of course, all over Lugoff and Elgin. And particularly, I'd like to point out my good friend Carolyn Watkins and Linnell that have come from Richland County. They are very active supporters over in the Richland County part of the district. And Carolyn even is very active in the South Carolina Federation for Republican Women. And they've got their board meeting today, and she came here instead of being there. She's going a little bit late, I understand, but thank you, Carolyn and Linnell. I also want to thank a lot of my friends that are here that are also leaders in the Kershaw County Republican Party. Dennis Arledge is here, and Lynn Kniffer and Joyce Carlton and Shelby Price right up here with me. I appreciate all of your support as well. And then, of course, many of you are good friends, dear friends that I've had for a very long time, friends from my church and my Sunday school class, and it just means the world to me that you're here this morning to support me. I also want to thank Meredith and her family for allowing us to host this event here this morning at the O Cafe Bean. If you haven't been here before, if you haven't patroned this restaurant, I encourage you to. The food is excellent, and the atmosphere, as you can see, is unique. And in fact, it is this unique atmosphere of this restaurant and the Elgin community that inspired me to have this as my backdrop for my campaign announcement. It is the small town nostalgic atmosphere of Elgin that reminds me so much of what we believe in as conservatives. Elgin has been so good to me. In the last election, we won Elgin handily, and Elgin has been great to me, and I appreciate everybody in Elgin for all of your support. I also want to thank my family, of course, who's with me this morning, and all standing behind me. I'm sure they're thrilled about that. But my mom and dad are here, and Marty's mom and dad are here, and my children are here, and we just want to thank you. I want to thank each of you for being with me and standing with me. So I want to talk a little bit about myself, and I don't want to bore you with that, but I think it's important that you understand who I am and what motivates me to run to be your representative. I am Sheri Few, and I'm here today to announce my candidacy for the Republican nomination for House District 79. And, well, you know, I think that God has prepared me for a very long time to be a public servant. My earliest preparation came as the daughter of an Air Force fighter pilot. My father instilled in me great values of love of country and understanding the importance of our armed forces and what they do to protect the citizens and our freedoms in this country. He also taught me a lot about leadership. My father retired at the rank of Brigadier General from the United States Air Force, and I attribute a lot of the leadership skills that I have to my father. My mother and father bought a home on Lake Wateree in 1970 when my father was stationed at Shaw Air Force Base. And my sisters and I attended Camden schools for 4 years before my father was reassigned to an Air Force base in Germany. But we loved South Carolina so much, my sisters and I, that when my mom and dad came back to Camden to retire, we followed them home. And we've all made our homes here. I met my husband, Marty, in 1984, and we were married shortly thereafter. It was a brief courtship. But we built our home in Lugoff, and shortly after we married him, we've lived there ever since. And I have 3 boys. Marty and I have 3 boys. The oldest is Billy, and Billy can't be with us this morning because he's attending the United States Air Force Academy, and he's a cadet there, and we're very proud of him. But Billy is following in the footsteps of my father and hopes to be an Air Force fighter pilot. Next in line is my son Jesse, who's here with us this morning, and you can pick him out. He's the football player. He attends North Greenville University, where he plays football, and he's hoping to follow in the footsteps of Marty's father to be a football coach. And my youngest son, Bobby, is right here with me. And Bobby is a freshman at Lugoff Elgin High School, and he is a very special young man who loves the Lord and has a gift for golf, and he hopes to be on the PGA Tour one day. So, even though I've been woefully outnumbered by men in my family, or boys, I still am very, very proud mother and proud to have all my boys, except for Billy, of course, with me this morning. But enough about me personally. Again, I know that that's important for you to understand who I am and what motivates me to run. But I want to talk to you a little bit about why I'm running. We live in a conservative community and a conservative state. And I think that we take that for granted. And my own experience this week as I attended a abstinence education conference in Washington, D.C., reminded me of how we take that for granted. In talking with my colleagues from all over the country, I realized that we are blessed that we live in a red state. We don't realize that others that are in more liberal states have a difficult uphill battle with policy. For example, here in South Carolina, we may have a difficult time getting abstinence education curriculum in particular school districts. But in other states like New York and California, the governors of those states have even rejected funding at all to address these issues. And, you know, I'm just so pleased that we live in a state where abstinence education is required by law to be the emphasis, and a governor that accepts the funding that we need to address these, to have these resources to address these issues. So the bottom line is we do live in a conservative community and a conservative state. But the problem lies in the fact that we have officials who enact policies that don't reflect our values. And this is evident in the statistics we see in our state. Even though we're in a conservative community and a conservative state, we have the highest, one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation. And even though we live in a conservative community and a conservative state, we have one of the nation's highest income tax rates. And even though we live in a conservative community and conservative state, we have some of the worst SAT scores and graduation rates in the nation. So you can see there's an obvious disconnect between the people who we are and our elected officials and the policies they enact. So what I'm suggesting to you this morning is that I have a vision for our community and for our state, a vision that sees its people electing representatives who will uphold their conservative values and people that will hold them accountable for standing up for our conservative principles, whether it be in the State House or in Washington. If I'm elected to represent you in House District 79, I will do everything I can to alleviate the stranglehold on small businesses financially. Small businesses provide for the most employment opportunities in our state, and yet the government restrictions and financial burdens have weighed heavy on them, affecting their ability to hire employees and to provide good wages and benefits. I will work hard to change that if I'm elected House District 79. In addition, I will work hard to fight for more efficient and less expensive government. I will work hard to streamline government and work towards restructuring so it will cost taxpayers less. In addition, I will work for education reform. And in doing so, we will work hard to get more money in the classrooms, more money for teacher pay, and more parental accountability through choice and competition. Those are some of the things that I envision we will be able to do working together to improve the quality of life here in Elgin, Lugoff, Pontiac, and the Northeast Columbia. And in order to do that, I'm going to need your help. So I'm going to ask you today for your support and your help in making our community stronger for my family, for your family, and the families of South Carolina. So I need your support, and I need your vote on June 10th in the Republican primary. Thank you, and may God bless you.